After a tough loss to Kansas, 7th-ranked Kentucky is back home in one of the great college basketball cathedrals in our country tonight. Here at Rupp Arena, it's Friday Night Hoops as SoCon champ ETSU has come to town. And good evening, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Wildcats legend Antoine Walker. Wildcats 2-1 on the season. What are we learning about this young team?
Well, obviously the point guard position is not the same. Kyle's used to having great point guards. 18 turnovers against Kansas. The rebounding is not the same. What's big as Kentucky is they got to control the offensive glass. And then obviously they don't have Malik Monk, but they do have Kevin Knox. This is a big-time scorer. This is a guy that has that type of ability where he can get you 20 a night. He showed flashes of it against Kansas, so it'll be good to see how he comes out tonight.
Cats starting five, led by Hamidou Diallo, their leading scorer at 16 points per game. You should take a good look at Kevin Knox right there. Preseason coaches, all SEC first team. Starting five for ETSU, Desante Bradford, the only returning starter from last year's team that went 27-8 and reached the first round of the NCAA tournament. Doug Shows will toss it up. Cats in their home white start on offense, and that's Quade Green with the ball. As the Cats look to rebound from their tough 65-61 loss to Kansas in the Champions Classic Tuesday in your hometown of Chicago.
Yeah, we just talked about that, turning the basketball over right there, the first possession, you turn it over. Got to take care of the basketball if they want to be a great team.
Devontavious Payne with the first shot of the game, a three-pointer after he hit a career-high 28 earlier this week against Savannah State. Green on the drive, gets it up over the outstretched arms of Armas, and the Cats are on the board. There's a look at that Buccaneers starting five. They are 1-1 on the season. Lost to Northern Kentucky, a win over Savannah State. Bradford on the drive. Nicely done by Desante Bradford. As I mentioned before, the only returning starter from last year's team that won the SoCon championship. Washington the miss. And McLeod brings it across for the Bucks.
I love the pace that ETU's playing with right now, really pushing the pace, looking to attack the basket too.
Aramis, the freshman, inside, and a traveling call on him. John Calipari in his 9th season, 251 and 54 his record. Overall, 654 official wins in 26 seasons. We'll have him wired tonight. We'll be sharing what he's got to tell his team in the huddle.
That should be good.
Hey, look, he's saying he's trying to be very patient with this team and not go crazy because they're so young.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Kevin Knox misses the three-point attempt. Washington, the offensive glass, and the jam by P.J. Washington, the freshman out of Findlay Prep.
Great offensive rebound, get yourself going. Good, didn't really score the basketball well, obviously, against Kansas. That's a good start for him to get going. They're going to need somebody else to step up on the scoring department.
Ramos sets the pick for McLeod. Burrell hits the three-pointer. That's a couple of three-pointers here from the Bucks in the early going. They had a lot of trouble with their three-pointers through their first game and a half. They had made only 4 out of their first 33, but they've now hit 11 of their last 22.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, you look at the stats, they haven't started out the season shooting the three well, but you got to remember this is a veteran group. They're going to come out and play very poised. They're not scared to play in this type of environment.
Diallo misses as the Cats have started 2 for 5 from the floor. Long three-point attempt by Bradford. Long rebound ends up in the hands of the Bucks again. Burrell way off the mark. Diallo ahead to Washington. A little bumping inside, and Washington with the finger roll has a couple of baskets early as the Cats cut it to 2.
You got to remember, P.J. Watson has a tremendous skill set. He's a guy that can get out in the open floor and push it. So they need him to continue to do that. Get nice to start out the game with a nice offensive rebound. Now nice drive to the basket.
And a foul's going to be called on Knox. Let's check in with the third member of our team tonight, Tara Petrolino. Tara, good evening. How you doing?
Hey, Matt. Thanks so much. Well, you know, I spoke to Coach Cal, and he admits he thought his team was going to go up to Chicago and get smashed by Kansas. But he said, hey, I looked. We had 50 seconds to go in the game, and we were still in it. We were actually doing pretty well. He then tells me he thought his freshman, Kevin Knox, did really well, who finally found his stroke. And I spoke to Kevin earlier today, and I asked him how it was getting back in it and putting up 20 points. He said, you know, I was just happy to make those shots that I knew I could make. On being the guy late in the game, he also said to me, listen, anyone on this team could be that guy, but I'd like it to be me. And that, I think Cal would agree.
Thank you, Tara. I do appreciate that. Knox is called for traveling right there. And Coach told us today at shoot-around, Twan, that it's going to be a game-to-game. Could be somebody different stepping forward and being that go-to guy over the course of the season. But don't you think eventually there's got to be that one guy they can count on, ball in his hands, shot clock running down?
Without question. And obviously you love your team to be able to do it by committee. But as you know, it's going to be that one guy that's going to be able to step up and make shots for you late. Kevin Knox showed that in the Kansas game. I like to think that P.J. Washington could be that other guy with his skill set. So we're going to see, this is going to be a fill-out season, especially the first 7-8 games, to see which is going to be that guy that does that.
4 on the shot clock, and Payne hits the front of the rim. Knox clears it ahead to Green. Green gets stripped as he tries to get into the paint. Ball was stolen away by Jermaine Long. To the corner it goes. Devontavious Payne the miss. And Knox comes away with the loose ball, and we have our first timeout on the floor, with the Bucks leading the Cats by 2 in the first 4 minutes. Back at Rupp Arena, Friday Night Hoops, East Tennessee State with the early 8-6 lead on Kentucky. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Wildcats legend Antoine Walker. And you talked about the turnovers, Twan, and it's the first 8 possessions, 3 turns for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you got to be able to take care of the basketball. They want to advance, and in college basketball, you got to have great point guards, and Cal's had that in previous years. These guys will get there. One thing about Cal, he's going to mature. He's going to continue to work these guys today, but to take care of the basketball.
Now, one of the problems that Kentucky opponents are going to face this season is the Wildcats' great length, and Tara has more on that.
That's right, Matt. Well, it is intimidating for any opponent going up against Kentucky. 7 guys with 7-foot wingspans. You know, for comparison, not too long ago, Anthony Davis was here boasting an 8-foot wingspan. And just earlier today, our very own Antoine Walker hit the court to show us what a 7-foot wingspan looks like, stretching across 8 basketballs. So, Antoine, how do they take that length now and turn it into more opportunities?
I think that's what you got to think about, what Cal's trying to build here. They can be great defensively. I think they're going to get there. They show flashes against Kansas, holding them to 65 points. So with that length, you got to make sure you got great defensive players and use it to lift to your ability. They can play zone if they want to and be really long, but I love the man-to-man.
Yeah, through the first 3 games, they're averaging 7 steals and 7 blocks per game, although they don't have any steals or blocks so far in the first 5 minutes of this one. Jermaine Long misses the long 3-point attempt, and the Wildcats have a chance to bring it across half court with Diallo. Gilgeous Alexander in the game for the first time. They dump it inside to P.J. Washington. He faces a double team, kicks out to Gabriel. Battle for the rebound, and a foul is going to be called by Don Daly.
That's the one thing about Kentucky. They're going to get double teamed in the post. You saw Kansas do that a lot last game, double team in the post. They got to step up and make those shots. Right now, they're not a great 3-point shooting team. Hopefully, they can develop into a good 3-point shooting team. But in order to win at a very high level, you got to have some guys knock down some shots.
Cats are shooting only 29.7% behind the arc in their first 3 games. Only 3.7 threes per game, which is 329th in the nation. Diallo into a double team. Armas comes away with it. By the way, the foul on ETSU on that last possession was called on Jermaine Long, and that was his first. Inside to Jerkin. Jerkin, the Indiana transfer, with the emphatic dunk. The Bucks up by 4.
Great post up, great seal, and also a great pass inside there.
Gilgeous Alexander with the left hand. Alexander averaging 7.7 points per game. Freshman out of Canada.
With Alexander and Green both sharing the duties at the point guard position, it's always good to see those guys get to the basket in the half-court set.
Jerkin will take a long three over Gabriel and can it. How about that? Peter Jerkin with the three-point shot, his first of the season.
Oh, that's one of those Coach Forrest is probably like, no, 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 yes, yes, yes. But it went in.
Didn't expect the big 7-footer to
that was shocking.
Spot up and hit it above the arc. And Jerkin goes above the rim to grab the rebound, and a whistle. And a foul's going to be called on Kentucky. Antoine, it's like he'd done it before.
Yeah, and it was within the Florida offense, like he knew he was going to shoot it. That's not the same guy I saw shoot around doing a lot of jump hooks. He wasn't shooting a lot of threes.
Peter Jerkin out of South Sudan scored only 4 total points on the season in their first 2 games and got 3 right here early with a 3 at the top of the arc. Burrell going to take a 3-point shot and miss. Bucks now 3 of 9 on their 3-point attempts in this game. They have the 5-point lead on the Cats. Now, this is not unusual. No. The Cats fell behind Utah Valley by double digits in the first half last Friday night in their season opener, and it came back and won by 10. Knox. Gabriel got the rebound. Knox puts it on the floor and drives. Little dipsy-doodle there and missed it. Jerkin the rebound. Cats are 4 for 12, and the alley-oop goes inside to David Burrell. And Coach John Calipari has seen enough and calls a timeout.
Great start by ECU.
Great pass from Jermaine Long, and the finish above the rim by David Burrell, the senior out of Milwaukee.
This is just lack of effort. This is why Coach Cal called a timeout. You got to get back and protect the basket, especially in a half-court set. They got to get back.
Wednesday, right here from Rupp Arena, we'll have the Fort Wayne Mastodons taking on the 7th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. That's 8 o'clock Eastern on the SEC Network and also streaming live on the ESPN app. But first things first, Kentucky down 7 points here in the first 7 minutes of this game. Buccaneers head coach Steve Forbes in his 3rd season. What a job he's done. He's really paid his dues. You know, beat the Bushes there in the junior college ranks. He was on Bruce Pearl's staff at Tennessee, and he has done a great job with this Buccaneers program in 2 short years.
Unbelievable job. He's a guy that's got the experience in the junior college ranks. We know he had great success in the junior college ranks, and he's taking junior college kids because he knows those guys are ready to play. He knows how to coach them coming right in. He has 8 seniors on his team.
Knox misses the 3 on the rebound. Sasha Kalia Jones is called for the travel. There's a good look at Steve Forbes right there. 52-21 his record. The 51 wins those last 2 seasons, the most in the SoCon, reaching the championship game each of the last 2 years, winning it last year.
And this is what I was concerned with about coming into this game. You play a nationally ranked team in Kansas on national TV and at the United Center. How they were going to come out tonight, and actually they came out flat. They're very flat right now, the Wildcats are.
Payne hits the 4th 3-pointer for the Bucks. 10-point lead for ETSU. Knox has it stolen away. Payne on the break. Burrell on the wing, and Quade Jones got a piece of it. And the Cats foil the break, and then a foul called in the backcourt on ETSU. Payne was called for the foul. Cats are down 10 here in the early going.
I got to get going. You know how you get going? What he did, rebound and go dunk one. That's how you get going.
SEC Wire with Coach John Calipari tonight as his Wildcats are down 10 here in the first 8 minutes of the game. Matt Stewart along with Antoine Walker and Tara Petrolino, and he told us in shoot-around again, trying to stay positive with this young team. Average age on this team is just over 19 years of age. Trying to stay positive, patient, not get crazy. Might be a tough thing for him to do as this team grows and develops. That seems to be the theme for the team this year, growth and development.
Well, obviously you want to be able to control a couple things. I mean, obviously you want to control energy and effort. The energy and effort is not there. This is not the same energy and effort that they put forth against Kansas. You got to understand, this young group has to understand that this is the Kentucky Wildcats. Teams are coming in. You got that bullseye on your back. They're going to give you their best effort, and they got to be ready to match that. Once they're able to match those efforts game in and game out, they'll be a better team.
They're getting a best effort right now from the defending SoCon champs, who's shooting 54% from the floor, and they hit 4 of their 10 3-pointers.
Yeah, and it's ironic. If you look at the numbers, they have shot 53 threes in 2 games. So obviously we know they think they can shoot the basketball. Obviously the percentage was only 24% coming into the game, but they're very comfortable shooting it. We even see their center stepping out and shooting the basketball. So this is a senior group. They're going to be ready to play.
Antoine, all but 3 of their field goal attempts have been behind the arc.
I think Coach Forbes forgot to tell us about that earlier, about the 3-point shooting. Maybe that was a secret.
Well, if I was shooting 40%, I'll take that. Burrell on a mid-range jumper. That was just the 4th shot inside the arc for them there. That was, they're now 3 for 4 inside the arc. And P.J. Washington, offensive foul.
Right now, Kentucky offense looks really confusing. I mean, they're turning the basketball over right now. And that's the tough part right now early in the season when you're trying to score by committee and not necessarily having that 1 or 2 go-to guys on the offensive end that can actually get you going. That's something they're going to have to develop because they're sloppy right now offensively because everybody, they do it by committee. It's not that one guy that you can really count on to go get a basketball.
Let's check in with Tara again. Tara?
Touched on such a great point in that the confusion is there, and Coach told us at shoot-around today, hey, if we look confused at the start of this game, it's because we probably are. We are trying to fit a lot in a short amount of time, and it's not going to be a perfect science, guys.
Yeah, Antoine, they're kind of on an NBA-like schedule right now. This is their 4th game in 8 days. They're going to play 7 games in their first 17 days.
It's tough when you got this young group to do that. You would want to have more practice time so you can work with guys in their deficiencies, but obviously you can see a lot of things. You want to be ready come February and March, so I think this is Coach Cal getting the opportunity to see what they're really going to need to work on.
Quade Green breaks a 3.5-minute scoring drought for the Wildcats. That's their first 3-pointer of the night.
I like the fact that they're picking up the pressure right now, trying to create some turnovers so they can get some easy buckets.
On the shot clock for Jermaine Long. P.J. Washington snags the rebound. And Gilgeous Alexander able to get rid of it before he traveled. Kalia Jones. Sasha Kalia Jones averaging 6 points, 5 rebounds per game. Had 8 points, career high 9 rebounds and 3 blocks, and lost to Kansas this week.
I like the fact that Cal's got both his point guards on the floor right now, just to be able to take care of the basketball.
Kalia Jones with the steal to Gilgeous Alexander, and ahead to Green. Quade Green hits a couple of baskets back-to-back, and the Cats are down 3.
We'll probably talk about it all night, the point guard play. The 2 point guards, Alexander and Green, have really came to play tonight, and they're going to need those guys to continue to get better and better as the season goes along. 3-pointer
in the corner for Jermaine Long. 5 3-pointers now for the Bucks.
I know Kentucky's long, but I guess they figure they're going to try to make 10 to 15 threes tonight.
Just keep doing like you used. Just keep stepping back. Just keep stepping back. Quade Green on a roll now. That's 10 for Green, who averages 8 a game. Obi Rapu, the miss, but Burrell doesn't miss with the putback dunk.
That's what I talked about early on. You know, what was keys to the game is being able to defend the glass, control the glass. They gave up 18 offensive rebounds against Kansas. You can't give up offensive rebounds against a smaller team like ETU. They got to make an emphasis on controlling the glass.
Green steps inside the arc. 12 points for Quade Green. He scored 12 of their 20.
I think Cal did a great job of putting both point guards in. You see the offense is moving with a lot more fluency, moving the basketball.
And a timeout called by Steve Forbes. Quade Green lighting it up for the Kentucky Wildcats. He has 12 of their 20. Kentucky down 3. We'll have another full slate of college football for you on the SEC Network Saturday. #1 Alabama hosting Mercer at noon Eastern. Then it's Florida UAB with Wofford and South Carolina on the SEC alternate channel at 4 Eastern. Cap off the day, it's Missouri and Vandy in our SEC Saturday night game presented by Holiday Inn Express. All 4 games are also streaming live on the ESPN app. Let's take a look at the roster comparison, and the notable number here is 8, as in 8 seniors for ETSU, 8 freshmen for Kentucky.
Yeah, that's a tough thing right now. These young freshmen have to go against these teams that are senior-led, especially early in the season, because they're not going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to play you very, very hard. You're going to have to be ready to go. And energy and effort sometimes can compound, can actually accept. You can make some mistakes, but you give energy and effort. They came out very flat the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game, and obviously they took advantage. East Tennessee State took advantage of it. So as the game's picked up, you see their energy level has picked up, but that's sometimes what you got to go through with growing pains with freshmen.
How about Quade Green, 10 of Kentucky's last 12 points as we check back in with Tara.
Thanks, guys. Well, when talking to Coach Forbes before the game, I asked him about that senior leadership, and he said, yeah, we got a lot of JUCO kids on this team, but these are guys that didn't play a lot of minutes last year. So even though they are seniors and juniors, they're older, they're more athletic, they're still coming in learning how to play these minutes of the game. And so right now, I would like to think he could say, yeah, they're making the most of their time.
Aramis misses up close after the miss by Burrell, but it resets the shot clock for the Bucks. And a foul, I believe, on Kentucky, a holding foul. Nick Richards picks up his first personal foul. Is their 6'6" power forward, very athletic guy. Set the SoCon blocks record last year in the tournament as he hits a 2 right there. And Burrell's a guy they really need to step up and stretch the defense here tonight. He's been able to do that thus far.
Yeah, he's made some shots. He had been struggling from the field coming into tonight, but this is a guy they count on throughout the season to make shots for them. He's off to a great start.
Sorry, Antoine. He's their leading scorer right now with 9 points on 4 of 8 shooting. And another foul called on the Cats. Richards just picked up his 2nd foul, and that'll be the 3rd team foul on Kentucky.
But you still got to like the effort. You know, you want Nick Richards to try to get in there and battle and get some easy pullbacks. So that's a foul right there that you can take because you like the energy and effort that he's putting forward to try to get an offensive rebound.
Mr. New Jersey basketball, ESPN mock draft has him going in the first round as the 22nd pick right now. Long way to go, though. We're just underway in the 2017-18 college basketball season. And again, the buzzword for this Kentucky team is going to be growth this year, as traveling is called on Jason Williams.
Well, I think right now, obviously we know they're trying to find an identity. We don't know if they're going to be a running team. We don't know if they're going to be a half-court team. This is one of the bigger teams that Cal has had in a while, where you don't know if he wants to play more inside, but they got to find an identity if they're going to be a team that get out and run and use that athletic ability, or if they're going to be a half-court team.
Turnover for the Cats. McLeod comes away with it, got a big man in front of him, pulls up and missed it. Aramis comes flying through the lane to get the rebound.
Second chance opportunities. Kentucky has to take those opportunities away.
That's one of the things Steve Forbes noted, that Kansas was able to hurt Kentucky very badly with second chance opportunities against the Wildcats. Burrell, another 3-point attempt. Long rebound for Washington. To Gabriel. Gets to the other side of the rim and puts it in.
They could be so great in the open court. And I think this is going to be important for them to learn that they can get out with the athletic ability that they have. They could be a great fast break team.
Wenyon Gabriel, one of the elder statesmen on the team. He's a sophomore.
But in order to run, you got to rebound. You can't continue to give teams second chance opportunities.
Bradford in and out on the 3-point attempt, and a high rebound by Diallo. In the paint, Diallo with the left hand flicks it in.
That's what I talked about. They could be great in transition. Rebound the basketball. Do not give up second chance opportunities.
First points of the night for Diallo. Bradford had it swiped away by Gilgeous-Alexander. Weaving, tossing to Diallo. Got the defense in the air and then calmly put it in. First lead of the night for the Cats. Timeout called by ETSU. Hamidou Diallo sighting here in the first half.
He was quiet early on. Now finally deciding to attack the basket where he's at his best at, being very athletic, finishing at the rim. They need him to get out in transition, but the only way you get out in transition is to rebound the basketball and get out on the break.
And obviously no timeout called by the Bucks. That was just an official timeout as the ball rolled away. Kentucky on a 6-0 run right now. McLeod trying to stop it off back iron. Gilgeous-Alexander the rebound. Another running opportunity for the Cavs. Gabriel, that's a three-point attempt and nailed it. Winyan Gabriel. Just his second three-pointer of the season.
Finally using that athletic ability to get out in the break and get easy opportunities.
There's that jump hook he was working on at the shoot-around.
He's got a little offensive package. A three, now a little nice little jump hook right there.
By the way, the three that he hit, Antoine, was his first career three. So before we call it part of his package, we'll just pump the brakes on that. Well, but it was a nice three-point shot.
Well, the way he took the attempt, it was in the rhythm in the Florida offense. Only people who were surprised was me and you.
Yeah, exactly. Subs as Gabriel will come off the floor for the Cats. McLeod was called for the foul there on the Bucks. That's his first.
Kentucky scored 9 straight in transition. Let's see if they can get something solid in the half-court set. This is where they struggled at.
Washington faces a double team and gets out of it. 4 on the shot clock for the Cats. And offensive foul is going to be called on Kentucky.
That's a good call. A little chicken wing right there on the baseline. You can't get it. They'll let him get away with that one.
First foul on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Fourteen fouls now on Kentucky. They lead by 2. Just over 4 minutes to play here in the first half.
I like the fact Kentucky's changing up their defenses now. Picking up full court, showing them a little zone. This is where that event really becomes really special.
Jermaine Long with a long three-point bomb puts ETSU back on top.
This is where Kentucky looks a little confused when they get into the half-court set.
Knox banks in the three-pointer. First points of the night for Knox.
He'll take it. He might have called bank on that. What you think?
If he did, it counts for 5.
We know Cal doesn't like to play zone, so it's interesting to see that he decided to go to zone.
McLeod the miss. He played 2-3 zone against Utah Valley State last Friday night to get him back in the game with an 18-0 run. He's thrown a little zone at ETSU here tonight. Kevin Knox banks it in. Kentucky by 2 with 3 to play in the half.
Let's see it after.
32-30, Kentucky leading ETSU. Let's have another SEC Wire with John Calipari.
What are we saying every time? Catch it, shoot it, drive it, or get rid of it. You're not going to stand there and go like that.
No, Antoine, he's not sounding very patient right now.
No, and obviously, you know, he's going to get frustrated at times. And with their half-court offensive execution, he should be frustrated. just careless turnovers. They're double teaming the post, so PJ's got to be a lot stronger in the post and getting the ball reversed. Guys got to get to their spots, and that's respect. You can't get upset when you get double teamed. When you get double teamed, that's out of respect. I used to love to get double teamed. I'm gonna get me a nice assist, or I'm gonna get the pass out to the guy who's gonna get the assist. You get open teammate a shot. So I think obviously with Kentucky size, East Tennessee is deciding that they want to trap the post and not let these guys work one-on-one. So you got to be willing to get the basketball up so you can find an open man for a nice shot.
Kentucky has hit 10 of their last 11 field goal attempts after starting 4 for 14 for the floor. And a foul called on Kentucky away from the ball. It's going to be on Knox, and it's going to be foul number 1 on him. And that'll be the 4th team foul on Kentucky.
That's something that they're going to also have to work on. We always talk about the things they're going to have to work on. As simple as that, just getting post position without fouling is some things they're going to have to work on as well. Not just Kevin, all of those guys are going to have to work on that.
Under 3 minutes to play here, first half. Bucks have led by as much as 10 in this first 20 minutes. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Payne with 5, working against Gilgeous-Alexander with 2. Had it stripped away by Gilgeous-Alexander. They head to Knox, and Knox got fouled by Payne to keep him from dunking the ball in front of this Rupp Arena crowd.
One thing you got to know, once Kentucky defense gets more consistent like this, where they're creating turnovers, they get on the break, they're going to be a great team out in transition. That's a great pass, great steal, great pass up the floor. They can get easy buckets that way. It's going to take away from some of them half-court woes that we've seen them go through tonight.
Knox out of Tampa Catholic, number 10 in the 2017 ESPN 100. Wildcats' top-rated recruit in this 2017 class, preseason second team All-SEC. Missed the free throw right there, and words with Don Daly as he steps in. With that miss, Knox 10 for 13 at the foul line so far this season. Missed them both. And who touched it last? Knox did. So the lead stays 2 with 2:25 to play in the half. Wildcats at 2-1 on the season. Victories over Utah Valley State and Vermont. Lost to Kansas. ETSU 1-1. Lost at Northern Kentucky. 1 at Savannah State. They'll play their home opener on Monday night. Jerking, banging bodies, passes out of it. 9 on the shot clock from McLeod. And Armas goes up to get the rebound, and a foul's going to be called on him. Pushing off to try to get that offensive rebound. Saturday at 10 Eastern, the SEC Nation traveling pregame show heads to Athens for number 7 Georgia and Kentucky as they break down everything from the gridiron to the grill for Week 12. SEC Nation presented by Regions Bank right here on the SEC Network. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. 7 team fouls now on the Bucks, so Kentucky shooting the bonus the rest of the way. This is P.J. Washington at the line. Cats have missed their last 3 free throw attempts. Underneath, Urell couldn't get to it, but does pass out of it.
Kentucky back to the man-to-man defense. So the zone only for a couple possessions. Now they're back to tough man-to-man defense.
McLeod drive, stripped. Cats on the break with Green. Big sweeping hook shot in the jam from Washington. P.J. Washington on the preseason watch list for the Karl Malone Award, delivering the mail right there. And nearly a backcourt violation, and it is. Kentucky defense forces the turnover by the Bucks and McLeod.
Just great hustle, great anticipation of the ball coming out the rim by P.J. And with a big finish. That's 2 putbacks by him. He's finding different ways to impact the game. They're going to need him to continue to do this as the season goes along because his skill set is tremendous. He's going to have to continue to do other things on the floor when he's not going for him offensively.
Inside. And a lot of bumping going along, and Diallo ends up on the deck. I don't believe a foul was called, just off the hands of the Bucks. So Kentucky gets it on the baseline with 1:05 to play in the half and leading by 4, 21 on the shot clock.
I like that. The referees letting them play, be physical down there in the paint. That's what it takes. You're going to have to be tough. This is a tough senior group. They're not going to let you get anything easy.
The veteran Doug Show's there, gives the ball to the Cats. They put it in play. And we will have a whistle right there. Illegal screen, I think, on Kentucky.
That's a tough one there. You got to let the kids play in those situations. Tough, hard-nosed basketball. It's a tough foul like that to call.
So a double foul called on Obi Rapu and Diallo right there. That's why Kentucky retains possession. Now 17 on the shot clock. Six on the clock. With 4, Diallo gets in motion and beats the buzzer. Hamidou Diallo with his 3rd bucket of the game.
Big time move, big time athletic finish. That's what he does.
Difference of 10 seconds. Game clock, shot clock. Bradford with the left hand. Followed his own miss. Missed it again. Knox 20 seconds for the Cats to work with it. And he nearly went over and back.
Oh, wow.
9, 8, 7. Knox calls for it, gets it with 4, with 3. Bangs in there. And that's the end of the half. Kentucky with a 6-point lead, Antoine, after trailing by 10 early on in the half.
Did a good job of getting themselves back in the game defensively, changing it up with press and everything.
Let's go over to Tara.
Coach, some transition buckets get you the lead back, but what's testing your patience the most right now?
They seem to be playing harder than us. We're getting beat to loose rebounds again. We have a lot of guys that don't think it's their responsibility to go get balls. They want to run out, and the reason they run out is they don't have to run as hard because they're starting near half court. We got to get guys all rebounding and then flying wide, and then we're pretty good. You know, we're doing some good things. You're having a little bit of a drag after that last game and not a whole lot of time to get ready, but I'm proud of them.
Coach, thank you.
Halftime here at Rupp. Kentucky with a 36-30 lead on ETSU. Now to the SEC basketball studio with Dari Noka. SEC Friday Night Hoops here in Lexington, Kentucky. Number 7 Kentucky leading ETSU by a score of 36-30. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Wildcats legend Antoine Walker. And Antoine, at the 11-minute mark, ETSU had a 10-point lead. Cats hit 12 of the last 15 shots to lead by 6 at the break.
Because they was able to finally get out in transition, kind of speeded up the all-defensive thing, putting pressure on them, trapping, getting easy opportunities out in transition. That's how they're going to have to be able to play until they're able to become that lockdown defensive team that we know they could be with their wingspan and with the athletic ability that they have.
Let's check out another SEC Wired with John Calipari.
Whoever gets it right now shoots it. You don't want to play together. You're trying to do your own thing. We all are. But we got a team full of those right now. Go! Go! Run wide!
You know, Antoine, when they were able to get out and run, that's when they were able to open things up a little bit and erase that deficit. As we take a look at the halftime stats, Kentucky now shooting 55% from the floor with that strong finish over the last 10-plus minutes of that first half.
Well, obviously, Coach Cal's probably not happy with turning the basketball over 9 times, but on the other hand, they've turned ETSU over 9 times too as well. So I think he has to be happy about that. The defense has picked up after the first 4 or 5 minutes, but he also had to change the defense. He had to put them in some pressure, make sure they pick up full court to get the legs woken up. It just seemed like they were a little dead after coming off the game Tuesday night against Kansas. But after the first 4 or 5 minutes, they were able to settle down and able to take a 6-point lead into halftime.
28-12 run by Kentucky to wrap up that first half, fueled by a 10-2 advantage on the fast break points, and the Cats 20 minutes away from their 3rd win of the season. As these two teams are meeting for the 5th time all time, as the first meeting between these two since 2010. They met in the 2010 NCAA tournament, and then they met again in the 2010-2011 season opener. Bucks on offense, wearing their navy blue, trimmed in gold. Darrell the miss, and last touch by Nick Richards.
Even though that he went after the ball, those are the rebounds that you got to have. You want to not continue to give this team like this second chance opportunities. I know it's early, but you want to come up with those rebounds so you can get out in the break.
The other 2 meetings between these 2 clubs came in 1980, 1984. Payne the miss. Armas had the rebound and fumbled it out of bounds. But it was last touched by Kentucky, so the Bucks get it again on the baseline.
What we can tell you, we've been talking about it all game, is that the offensive rebounds, you got to stop giving teams second chance opportunities. They gave up 7 offensive rebounds in the first half. Now you saw the first 2 possessions in the first 30 seconds, giving up 2 offensive rebounds.
9 total offensive rebounds for this Buccaneers team. Bradford working against Diallo, and an offensive foul called on Desante Bradford. Bradford, their top scorer from a year ago, top returning player, the only returning starter from a year ago. Only 2 points so far in this game, Antoine, on 1 of 6 shooting and 0 of 3 from behind the 3-point line. Just picked up his first personal foul.
He's a slasher. He's a guy that gets to the basket, uses his ball handling ability to get to the basket. Kentucky's done a good job of stopping him from attacking the basket.
Diallo between the legs, weaves into the defense and lost it, goes down hard, still has not gotten up. Payne, shot was blocked by Knox, but Knox was standing on the baseline when he touched it, and Diallo's going to go to the bench after that hard tumble on the offensive drive.
That was a good drive to the basket. I'm still not sure how he wasn't able to get a foul call right there, but referees must have thought it was all ball.
Eight on the shot clock inside to Burrell. Shot blocked by Kalia Jones, and ahead to Green. Quade Green, and his shot was blocked, and that's going to be a goaltending call on the Bucks. As we check back in with Tara Petrolino. Tara?
Thanks, Matt. Well, I caught up with Coach Forbes right before his team just took the floor here for the second half, and he said the biggest takeaway, I thought we had good patience. We left some points on the table. We can't let that happen. But I just told my team we're 20 minutes away. We can't turn the ball over, and there can be no second chances on the glass. If we let them take advantage, then they will. But if we can stay even with them on the boards, we've got a chance to win this.
You know, when he told his kids at shoot-around today, look, we're not going to win or lose a championship by playing tonight's ball game. There's no pressure on us. Let's just go out and roll the dice.
And he's got a veteran group, so that you know they're going to be there. They're going to fight. They're not afraid of this moment.
And P.J. Washington sticks it in after the miss by Kalia Jones. And this is the largest lead of the night for the Cats as they turn what was once a 10-point deficit for them into a 10-point lead.
I think PJ is understanding that he's finding different ways that he can keep himself in the game by playing good defense and getting offensive rebounds.
Armas stripped, foul on the floor. But as we watch this game unfold before us, Antoine, you can see where the length of the Kentucky Wildcats defensively really poses such a big problem for the Bucks. They're just really a hard time finding passing lanes in the half court.
And also, I think that's the reason why you see at halftime they got 18 three-point shots. Those are the shots, the only shots that Kentucky's really giving them in the half court set is three-point shots.
Burrell Up in the air. Payne misses. Knox the rebound. And again, the Cats out and running. Knox, nice touch on that one. Knox, second basket of the night.
You can't teach that right there. Guy 6'9", going full length in the court with a nice running hook across the lane. You can't teach that.
Cats up 12. Opening 2.5 minutes of the half. Payne. And ETSU has gone very cold. Now shooting 31.5% from the floor for the game. Washington in traffic is fouled, and P.J. Washington will go to the foul line. Here's that incredible touch that you were talking about a few moments ago for the big guy from Tampa.
It ain't a lot of guys that's 6'9" that can take the ball the full length of the court, 94 feet, come across the lane and shoot a jump hook. That just lets you know how special Kevin Knox can be on the offensive end.
Preseason watch list for the Wooden Award, Naismith Trophy, and Oscar Robertson Trophy, and the Julius Erving Award.
He looked like a young Antoine Walker right there. He brought me.
I agree.
Yeah, I got flashbacks right there when I saw him bringing the full length and making that move right there. Only thing that was missing, he didn't shimmy. That wasn't really a shimmy move. Yeah, that wasn't really a shimmy move, though.
Well, I tell you what, when you and I were out there getting some shots up here at Rupp Arena this morning, it was the first time in 21 years you had been on this floor with a basketball.
I know. And I was about 40 pounds lighter on this floor, too. Kentucky defense is picked up. The intensity level's picked up. Active hands, really doing a good job of contesting these three-point shots. That's allowing them to get out in the break and give themselves some more easy opportunities in the half-court set.
Instructions from Cal on the sidelines as the Cats set up their half-court offense. Knox with the three-pointer. That's his first of the night, his second of the night, pardon me, now has 8 points.
Probably was one of their better half-court offensive sets right there. Nice drive and kick out for a wide-open three.
You know, and Cal was telling us at shoot-around, you've got to be able to execute offensively in the half-court to beat good teams.
Yeah, and that's a good...
Now, this was us earlier in the day.
Oh.
Antoine with the three. I got to tell you, it was a pinch-me moment. Got to confess, a pinch-me moment. I'm getting shots up at Rupp with the legendary Antoine Walker. You know how many people get to do that?
Not many, but
not many like me.
But you see the form, the rotation. That almost got me flashback that I want to come back. Hey, the big three out there, you can't get mad. The big three is going on. I can make it come back now.
A member of the 1996 National Championship team. 45-30, Kentucky, once down by double digits, now leading by 15. He's being patient. He's encouraging. He's not going crazy.
Who am I? I am freshman 4 for the Kentucky Wildcats. Here's 3 things you don't know about me. My dad played football for FSU and was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. I won 2 gold medals, and just like my dad, I played football in high school until I got too tall to play quarterback. Who am I? I am Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of 8 shooting from the floor, and 2 of 4 now on his threes.
Yeah, he's got the skill set that's going to, obviously, one day put him at the next level where he's going to be able to make it to the NBA because he has that type of game. He can space the floor at 6'9". He can put it on the deck. He's athletic enough where he finishes well around the basket. The one thing that I would say he needs to work on is to be a little bit more selfish. Not go outside the offense. I think he has to understand that he has that skill package, that offensive package. This is a guy that scored 55 points in high school. So he's got that type of ability to put the ball in the basket on a consistent basis. So, no, we watched last year, we watched Malik Monk have some huge scoring nights. But Malik Monk was very aggressive. I think Kevin Knox has that type of ability where he can be aggressive for this Kentucky team and lead this team in scoring night in and night out.
And let's check in with Tara. She's got something to add to this.
Well, Coach Cal just went after Knox in that huddle. He said, you got to rebound, get some block shots. I'm not trying to mess with your confidence, but if you don't guard, you're coming out. If you don't rebound, you're coming out, guys.
You know, and Tara, that's one of the things that Coach Cal was talking to us at shoot-around today. Says Knox needs to be more aggressive in his rebounding, going and getting the ball. He does have 7 boards tonight.
Well, it's kind of funny when you watch him in shoot-around and he's with the guards and he's showing all these guard skills, but he also has to rebound and understand that he's 6'9", so they need him coming in and mix it up a little bit.
You know, and you heard Knox tell us that he was the high school quarterback until he got to be too big. Now, I know you should have been your high school quarterback, but they gave the job to some guy named Donovan McNabb, and I don't know why they did that. I still think you should have been your high school quarterback.
No, I tried to play baseball. I was a 2-sport guy. I got too tall to play baseball. I started striking out all the time, so I decided I'm just going to play basketball right now.
That was a good decision.
Another great offensive set right there coming out of the break with the driving kick and Kevin Knox for a wide open 3.
Offensive foul. And this will be on Washington. And that'll be number 3 on P.J. Washington.
I like it, though. They need him to be aggressive. I think he's the X factor for this team because of his skill set. He's another guy like Kevin Knox, maybe not from the perimeter, but a guy that can take it 94 feet and make a play for his teammates. He's got that type of ability. So I want to continue to see him grow and handle the basketball a lot more for his team. 8
points, 5 rebounds for Washington. He had a double-double Sunday against Vermont, going for 17 and 10. Bradford shot deflected into the hands of Wynyard. Ahead to Knox. Gilgeous-Alexander the miss, and the rebound controlled by Long. ETSU just having a devil of a time shooting now. 28.5%. Jerkin, that'll improve the field goal percentage as Jerkin slams it home.
That's a tough thing for East Tennessee because they're going to live by the 3, you can die by the 3. So it was great for them early on in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, and haven't been able to make one since, and they've really struggled offensively here.
Washington becomes the 3rd cat to get the double figures. He now has 10. Green has 14 and Knox has 11. 16-point lead for the Cats. Payne. Bucks now 6 for 24 on their 3-point attempts. At one point they were 4 for 10. Another miss from behind the arc. And Steve Forbes just throws up his hands and paces down the sideline. Knox uses that arm to get a little space, missed the baseline jumper.
I like that shot, though, right there from him. He needs to be a lot more aggressive. Doesn't have to always be a 3-point shot.
Jerkin gets it, working against Wynyard. Shoots over Wynyard, air ball, and the put-in by Burrell. And Burrell comes up limping. He's the first Buck to get to double figures. He has 11.
It's a critical point right now for East Tennessee State. They want to stay in this game. They got to lock down and make a run right now. You don't want Kentucky to open this thing up to 20. You want to keep yourself in the game right now. This is going to be a critical state in the game right now for them.
Foul called on the Bucks. Long picks up his 2nd personal foul and the 4th team foul on ETSU.
This is why I know Coach Forbes hopes his senior group right now that can catch themselves a little bit and work their way back into this game.
The Bucks have a history of knocking off Power 5 teams. Kentucky not one of them, but last year you worked the game where they won in Starkville, beat Mississippi State at the buzzer. Year before that, won at Georgia Tech.
I mean, like I said, this group right here is not afraid of the moment. They're definitely a group that's not going to give up they're going to play hard for 40 minutes. But right now the game is slipping away from them because of their inability to make three-point shots. They're living and dying with the three-point shot. So they're going to have to try to figure it out, either change their defense and to try to put some pressure on Kentucky to get some easy opportunities. Coach Forbes talked about earlier that he wasn't going to press this team. He didn't feel like his team could press Kentucky, but he may have to change his defense up to try to get some easy opportunities.
And the Cats are now 0 for 8 at the foul line tonight. Washington, however, is there to clean up the trash and put it in the bucket. But the 0 for 8 on the free throws, that'll keep the talk shows going for a couple more days. Obi Rapu, three-pointer, the 7th for the Bucks. They're now 7 of 25 behind the three-point line. They're 8 for 23 on their twos. Doug Shows blows the whistle. And this will be a foul on ETSU.
That's what Kentucky's right now in the half-court set, trying to impose their will, try to see if they can get East Tennessee State to start double-teaming again and moving the ball around.
James Harrison checks into the ball game for ETSU for the first time. Bo Hodges was called for the foul, number 1 on him. Hodges, the freshman out of Maplewood in Nashville. They expect some big things out of this young man, averaging 5.5 points per game in their first 2 games. "13-point lead, Kentucky." Washington loses it, tumble on the deck. Hodges snatches it away, and here comes ETSU. In the corner, rebound Gabriel. Ahead to Washington, and Washington stripped by Bradford off of the Bucks' hands. It'll be the Cats' ball on the baseline when we get back. Kentucky with a 13-point lead here. SEC Friday Night Hoops on the SEC Network. Wednesday, right here from Rupp Arena, we'll have the Fort Wayne Mastodons taking on the 7th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. That's 8 o'clock Eastern on the SEC Network, also streaming live on the ESPN app. A check of SEC headlines. Texas A&M's Adnan Gilder, the SEC Player of the Week. Adnan, 23 points, 9 boards, 7 assists in their upset over 11th ranked West Virginia. 3 teams in the AP Top 25, led by Kentucky, then Florida A&M. And the next game on the SEC Network, New Hampshire and 8th ranked Florida. That'll be Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern, part of a doubleheader on Sunday night. And speaking of the SEC, former SEC star, South Carolina Gamecock B.J. Mackey now on Steve Forbes' staff there at ETSU.
Yeah, I didn't like talking to him earlier, talking about his last game he remembered was in 1997, beating the Wildcats on our floor here on senior night. So B.J. is a great addition for Forbes. He's going to be great with these guys. We saw him running, shoot around, very attentive. A good young coach who's going to obviously help him recruiting too as well.
I thought it was funny. I asked him, well, what do you remember? How many points did you score? Oh, 20-something. Very casual. Oh, I scored 20-something and beat Kentucky on senior night.
He know how many points.
It was no big deal.
And he know how many points, what he shot from the field too.
I bet he did, but he didn't tell us that. They went 15-1 that year and won the SEC championship. Their only loss was to Georgia. But good to see him. Of course, his son Justin on the Final Four team for South Carolina a year ago, and he spent a good deal of their vacation money there following his son in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it was a good ride. I was right there with him too as well.
BJ had been on the Charleston Southern staff the last 6 seasons, and Steve Forbes says a great get for them to get him on their staff this year. Quade Green was called for the foul, number 1 on him. 5 team fouls now on the Cats with 11 minutes to play. Obi Rapu on the drive, fouled as he shot and did not go. He'll go to the line for 2. Just 2 free throw attempts for the Bucks so far tonight.
This is a critical point in the game right now for Kentucky. Just to see if they can, put their foot on the neck of ESTU right now if they can. but don't want to let up right now. You don't want to let this senior veteran group back into this game, because then you make it a possession game where execution really can become a problem. So you want to kind of put your foot on them right now, see if Kentucky can extend this lead right now the next couple minutes.
Nayu Obirapu with the free throws, and it's an 11-point game. And I think that's a great point there by you, Antoine. ETSU looked like they were about to get blown out, but do they have a second win here? Can they climb back in this game? Still plenty of time, and they cut the lead down to 11.
They're switching their defense up right now, going to a little 2-3 zone. Let's see how Kentucky reacts to this.
Aaliyah Jones the miss, and Bradford the rebound. They can get it down below 10. Bradford has not done much for them so far tonight offensively.
Very passive. Surprised he's so passive.
Harrison with the left hand had a shot blocked. Armis stays with it, and a foul called on the Cats. And Armis will go to the foul line.
This is what I talked about. They're going to continue to fight. They're not going to give up. They're going to continue to fight all 40 minutes. So Kentucky has to be prepared for that. They got to be prepared to keep their energy up, get this crowd back into the game.
Vladan Armis, freshman out of Belgrade, Serbia, averaging 4.5 points, 6.5 rebounds per game. That's the first point of the night for Armis, and it's a 10-point game. Mass substitution for the Cats. Bucks are 5 for 5 at the foul line now. And the rebound by Washington. Green nails it.
Big time bucket there by Green.
17 for Green.
The game changed really when Green and Alexander started to play together in the backcourt. They got control of their half-court offense. Green went on a run there where he was able to string together a couple buckets. So Green has had a terrific game. They're going to need this type of point guard play from him as the season continues.
Green and gets the roll. Quade Green with 19 points on 8 of 10 shooting.
Kentucky's very active defensively, trying to see if they can create a turnover right here.
Harrison goes up strong and draws the foul, and James Harrison's going to go to the foul line. How about the offensive game for Quade Green tonight? 19 points, 8 of 10 shooting, 3 of 4 on his threes.
What I like about Green, I like his patience, his poise, really dissecting the defense, not forcing things. That's why he's been great. Shooting mid-range, making an open jump shot. Really seems like he's in control of his game. And you know, we hadn't seen that in the first couple games, but today he looks very poised and in control of what he wants to do on the offensive end.
That was Harrison's first free throw attempt of the season, and the crowd, after he misses the first, gets up and makes things difficult for him. Calls for the ball back. Working against Richards. Really scrambling underneath. Ball pops out to Obirapu, who nails it.
Second chance opportunities kill you every time. Great defensive stop.
Oh, wow. Stolen out of the air by Bradford. Obirapu had a shot blocked, and Armis sticks it in. That was some kind of play by Bradford.
ETUS is not going to give up. They're going to fight all night long. Kentucky has to be ready for these little spurts and runs. They're going to continue to fight.
Green at the elbow. Green now with 21 of the Cats' 59.
I think Coach Cal may have discovered another offensive play, putting him in that pick and roll right there. It's like he's very comfortable with that.
Well, he said game to game it could change who the go-to guy is. Well, tonight it's Quade Green after Knox gave him 20 against Kansas. Timeout with Kentucky, led by Quade Green, leading by 13. 15-point lead for Kentucky with 7:55 to play. Matt Stewart along with Antoine Walker and Tara Petrolino. Let's take a look back at the foul right before the timeout. And Kanayo Obirapu called for a flagrant, I believe. They were at the table reviewing this. It'll put Knox at the line.
Oh, that's close. I think he fell harder than what it really was.
Yeah, I mean, there was contact in the lower body.
That's not a flagrant. I hope they don't call that a flagrant. That's a basketball play. Let the kids play. The game is so soft now. I don't want to see it to be called a flagrant.
And I believe they're going to let it stay as just a regular foul. See if we can get confirmation. No, they're going to stick with the flagrant, it appears, as Knox is going to take free throws with nobody at the line.
That's a tough break right there.
That is the first free throw that Kentucky has hit tonight. Meantime, Kanayo Obirapu is over on the bench after the foul was called on him. And a 1 for 9. So Kentucky got the free throw and the ball and leading by 16. Quade Green's been the big story here tonight, and a screen set by Kalia Jones was an illegal screen, and the foul is going to be called on him. That'll be number 3 on him. Kalia Jones, one of the rare sophomores. In fact, the 2 sophomores for the Cats are on the floor right now. Gabriel and Kalia Jones.
ETSU, they got to make a decision right now. They're going to get back in this game. Bradford, unfortunately, hasn't got going offensively, surprisingly, just not being aggressive at all, not even looking at the basket. 1 for 8 from the field tonight.
And traveling is going to be the call as Payne turns it over. 12th turnover on the Bucks. ETSU first home game coming up on Monday night against Delaware State. So they've opened the season on the road at Northern Kentucky, then down to Savannah State, and now up here to Lexington. Knox hits the three-pointer, his 3rd 3, and Kentucky now up by 19-17 for Knox, who's closing in on his first career double-double as a Cat.
I think people now starting to notice right now. They saw a little sample size against Kansas. They're starting to notice how good Kevin Knox is going to be for the Wildcats this year.
Diallo going coast to coast and was fouled on the drive, and he'll go to the line for a couple of shots here.
Diallo's a guy who's going to be great in transition. People got to understand, this guy put his name in the draft. He went through, you know, pre-draft and worked out for a bunch of teams. So his confidence level is very high. He understands what he has to do, one, individually to get better, but for this team, he has to be that guy that gets out in transition, that gets easy buckets, be probably the #1 defender on the perimeter with his foot speed and his athletic ability.
He enrolled last January and took a redshirt season rather than playing in that second semester a year ago. And as you mentioned, did put his name in the draft and withdrew that. He's on the watch list for the Wooden, the Naismith, the Oscar Robertson, and the Jerry West Award.
Yeah, he's a big-time talent. As the season goes along, I would like to see him improve his jump shot a little bit better. But in the open court, there's no other player better than him in the country in the open court, especially finishing at the rim.
In fact, in the latest ESPN mock draft, he is projected as the highest Wildcat to be chosen. He's number 17 on that latest ESPN mock draft. Gabriel was called for the foul, number 1 on him.
That will change.
And I was getting ready to say that, and you feel like it will change. You feel like Knox is definitely a lottery pick.
Yeah, I just think
will develop into one.
Yeah, I definitely believe that Kevin Knox is a lottery pick. He's going to develop into one if he's not already one. His skill set is tremendous. His ability to knock down a three-point shot. The league now is pick and rolls and three-point shots. He fits very well if he has to play at the next level.
He's got 17 points and 9 rebounds tonight. He's 4 of 6 on his three-point shots. He's got that nice combination of being able to play inside and out. Let's watch him. He's out there on the wing waiting for the ball. Instead of fumbled away by the Cats. Payne on the drive and the rebound by Diallo. Things getting sloppy right now. Diallo scoots it ahead to Knox. Knox, alley-oop, and they can't convert it. Washington had it fumbled through his fingertips. Bradford traveled. Just a tough game all the way around for Bradford.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games as a senior you look back on, you're going to be upset. You had a chance to do it, but Coach Cal has to be excited about the defensive effort the second half, the 50-50 balls, getting the loose balls. This is the most active team he's seen so far in the 4 games. So to be able to be active like this, they're starting to get it. Obviously, you look at some of the rebounding hasn't been great, but they're starting to play hard and starting to get out the loose balls.
And when we get to January and February, Antoine, are those plays that they convert?
Oh, without question. It's just that fast break play right there. That'll be a layup. That'll be a complete dunk right there as they continue to get better.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the lay-in. Gilgeous-Alexander will bring it up the floor. Offensive foul, Diallo.
He's done that move a couple times tonight. He's going to have to get a little bit better than that.
We'll have another full slate of college football for you on the SEC Network tomorrow. Football Saturday. Number 1 Alabama hosting Mercer at noon Eastern. Then it's Florida UAB with Wofford, South Carolina on the SEC alternate channel at 4 Eastern. To cap off the day, it's Missouri and Vandy in our SEC Saturday night game presented by Holiday Inn Express. All 4 games are also streaming live on the ESPN app. Obi Rapu off back iron, and Gabriel the rebound. Stolen by Bradford. Bradford had it stolen right back and then stole it right back. On the drive, Bradford missed the layup. It was challenged. Obi Rapu to the wing. Payne, 3, nope, and foul called on the Bucks. That's going to be on Jerkin.
Unfortunately, for East Tennessee State, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. We saw them come out great in the first 5 or 6 minutes and make 4 or 5 3-point shots. The iron has been cold to them pretty much the rest of the way. And they came in with a good strategy. They wanted to shoot the 3. They knew Kentucky was long and big inside. They knew they probably couldn't post up and get much in the paint. But they came out wanting to shoot the 3 ball, and you live by the 3, you die by it, and they got killed by it tonight.
At one point, Antoine, they were 4 for 10 on their 3-point shots. They have now gone 3 for their last 19 for 7 for 29, 24%.
Yeah, that's about what they was averaging coming in, about 24%. So it kind of panned out after the first couple making those 3s early in the game.
Meantime, the Cats continue to struggle with the free shots. They're 2 for 13 at the line.
Yeah, that's something Cal's going to address. Obviously, you're up 21 points, so you're not worried about it today, but it's something they're definitely going to have to address.
Knocks the miss, Jerkin the rebound. McLeod across the half-court line. Burrell challenges Gabriel. Back to McLeod. Nailed it. Jalen McLeod, senior grad transfer from Texas Southern, where he played for Mike Davis, the former Indiana coach.
I wish I could play for Coach Forbes. He lets you shoot that three, man. I can get my FGAs up with these guys.
Gabriel, the miss. Cats have Troy coming in here on Monday night, and then on Wednesday, Troy will play East Tennessee State. Diallo, and the follow by Kalia Jones. Lob inside for Jerkin, who converts. Jerkin now in double figures. He has 11. He had scored only 4 points in their first 2 games combined.
This is what Green and Alexander got to be able to take control of the game. You up 20 points. Make sure you get a quality shot these last 4 minutes. Saw Kyle over there getting a little upset.
3 minutes, 29 seconds left in this one. Kentucky's going to pick up their 3rd win of the season here tonight. They lead by 16. 16-point lead for the Cats. Let's take a look at tonight's good hands play. It's brought to you by Allstate. Diallo on the drive, and the good hands by Sasha Kalia Jones.
Big time finish there.
They're going to be doing a lot of that this season, aren't they?
Yeah, we saw about 4 or 5 tonight from different people.
You know, and we were talking to Cal today about, you know, how long is it going to take for this team to mature into the kind of team that, you know, he wants them to be. And he said, how much runway do I have? So to explain the analogy, he says, runway means time. Do I have enough time to land the plane this season? I think he's going to have enough time. I think that's Cal being Cal. But I think this team eventually is going to be very, very good. The preseason picks to win the SEC. And here's another SEC Wired with Coach John Calipari.
Every guy out there was fatigued. And here, you got to accept it. Every guy out there is fatigued. You got to fight through it. I got to be able to keep playing, or I sub myself. I'll take myself out. Don't go out there and play like you're going through the motion. Just don't do it.
Now, how hard, Antoine, would it be for a freshman out there getting some run here in a, you know, packed out Rupp Arena to sub himself?
It's tough, man. Listen, my first 3 months at school, especially the first semester, I struggled. Just nervous. I mean, you're playing in front of this big crowd. You got to perform night in, night out. And my second half of the season, once we got to January, February, next thing I looked up at my freshman year, I was SEC Player of the Year by the end of my freshman year. So people got to be patient. It's going to take some time with this group. They're doing it by committee right now on the offensive end. You see tonight 3 guys in double figures. They're kind of sharing the wealth. In the big games, when you play the Kansas of the world and that team, you're going to have maybe 1 or 2 guys give you some scoring because they're going to be much better defensively. But right now, on a consistent basis, and they get in conference, you can do it by committee. I just think that late in games, they got to figure out who's going to be that guy that can score for them.
You know, I think people take it for granted because Coach Cal has turned this into an art form, taking these freshmen and turning them into national championship contenders. But it isn't easy, even though they seem to make it look that way because they have such amazing talent, all these 5 stars on his roster. But from the kids' standpoint, it's tough. You told me you were homesick when you first got here.
Man, my first 3 months, I've never been out of Chicago. I came down here to Kentucky, a smaller town. Got to see the world differently. I was homesick. I couldn't believe I was in the state of Kentucky. So you go through that process too. These guys get to come down in the summer, spend a couple months, and then they throw them right into the fire. And it's different pressure playing in Kentucky. I think people got to understand. You're coming in, you're going to be ranked in the top 5 in the country. You're going to have to perform. A loss is taken a little bit different in Kentucky than it's taken somewhere else. So you got to understand what the pressure that these players play under. And Coach Cal is a teacher. He's the best at it. He's proven that over the last few years that he's the best at coaching freshmen.
Loss? What do you mean loss? That's supposed to be any losses, right?
You're right about that.
What are you talking about losses for? We're not going to lose any games. Obi Rapu gives it up to the corner, and McLeod launches a 3 over Green. And Richard snags the rebound for Kentucky. No doubt about it. I mean, you got the pressure of playing for this Kentucky basketball team. You got to work in the academics, and you also have media responsibilities. I mean, this team is treated like a professional sports team from a media standpoint and coverage standpoint.
And I think that's why Cal recruits the top players in the country. This is the reason why he goes after the top 20 players in the country, because he needs guys that are skill level and are mature enough and ready to play right away. He's not going to get junior college kids. He's going after freshmen and putting them on the floor. But he's the best at getting guys to understand. And remember, come February, March, this group will be together and they'll be ready to go chase the NCAA title.
Washington in there with the left-handed scoop. Gets it back, feeds it to Richards. He got whacked and hit the basket. He'll go to the line for a chance at the old traditional three-point play.
You know, we talked about earlier before the game, started the game, some of the three things to look out for, what we learned from this team. I think we saw those things tonight. We saw the point guard play actually get better tonight. Still turned the basketball a little bit much for my liking. The rebounding has been good, but they still have given up too many second shots. And when we talk about offensively, we got a little bit more of the collective group of different guys scoring. But Kevin Knox was huge tonight and scoring the basketball as well. So we're still seeing that the things that we talked about early on, we saw those things coming in true fruition tonight.
72-56 inside the final 2 minutes of this Friday Night Hoops Fest here in Lexington, Kentucky. Obi Rapu takes the shot and the rebound by Richards. A lot of things facing college basketball right now. The committee, the NABC committee that Coach Cal is on, along with Mike Sly, the former SEC commissioner, to address some of the issues facing college basketball right now. The committee headed by Condoleezza Rice addressing some of those issues. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, addressing perhaps eliminating the one-and-done rule. I think there's a strong contention in the NBA union that would like to see high school players be able to go straight to the NBA.
This is huge because this can impact the University of Kentucky, because we, obviously over the last 4 or 5 years, University of Kentucky has been able to produce 31 NBA players. So Cal has had a tremendous success with one-and-done guys. So Kentucky will be one of those schools that can be really affected by this. But I was a 2-year guy. I'm a little bit biased, in which I think 2 years is perfect for guys. It gives you a year to work on your body and get yourself together to really prepare for the next level. But I understand sometimes why guys leave as freshmen. So I think they're going to address it. I think it's going to really happen where you come out as a freshman, or you're going to have to wait 2 years.
Gilgeous Alexander, and that's one of the bones they've thrown out there. If a kid goes to high school, goes straight from high school to the NBA, they propose that. But if you commit to a college, you got to do it for 2 years. Sounds like you're in favor of that rule.
Yeah, I mean, I came in college a soaking wet 190. After my second year, I got up to 232. I got my body and my mind prepared to play at the next level. So you need that time to get yourself together. I mean, it's tough in your freshman year because it's a crash course. And you alluded to some of the things that you have to deal with coming to Kentucky and being a college basketball player. So sometimes you need that first 4 or 5 months just to catch yourself and catch up with what's going on, because things go very fast, especially at the University of Kentucky.
Durkin now with 14 points as Kentucky 53.5 seconds away from their 3rd win of the season.
I'm impressed with the defense tonight.
Yeah.
I think, obviously coming out to Kansas, holding Kansas to 65 points. Now you look tonight, maybe holding, ETU to obviously under 60 points could be huge for them. The defense is starting to come along.
Let me tell you, with their length, they are going to give a lot of teams problems this season. And I don't know if it's because Coach Cal said that Kansas would beat us by 20 or 30 points, but the Wildcats fans seem to believe that they were okay with the way they played against Kansas. Washington just fouled out, picked up his 5th personal foul. He finishes the night with 12 points. I
thought he was great tonight. I thought he was very active, didn't wait on the offensive end, stayed aggressive, and did a lot of good things tonight. So I thought he rebounded from his not necessarily a great performance against Kansas.
Jerkin gets it with 35 seconds, working against Richards, and Jerkin having himself a game. 16 for the Indiana transfer from the South Sudan.
Coach Forbes may have discovered something tonight. a real impressive win tonight for the Wildcats. You got to give them a lot of credit after coming after a tough loss against Kansas to bounce back tonight against a solid veteran group like East Tennessee State. So you got to give them a lot of credit.
Cloud fouled with 3.2. Kentucky hosting Troy on Monday night. SEC opener comes the final week of December. What a week they've got, that final week, those 8 days leading up to the New Year's. You take a look at the upcoming schedule. What I'm talking about here, it starts with UCLA on December 23rd, and then you have Louisville, and then you have Georgia. That week right there is going to be some kind of week for the Wildcats.
Yeah, this is what Cal does. He plays tough schedules, and obviously he's going through a tough stretch right now. We talked about it earlier about so many games, and I think 7 games in like 14 days or something like that. Not a lot of practice time, so it'll be interesting to see how this young group reacts to that. But great win tonight for the Wildcats.
Kentucky now 3-1 on the season, and now 6-0 all time against ETSU with a 78-61 victory. Quade Green with a game-high 21 points, hit 3 3-pointers, and Knox went for 17 and 10, a double-double. 78-61 the final for Tara Petrolino and Antoine Walker. I'm Matt Stewart. So long from Lexington. Coming up next on the SEC Network, it's SEC Now.
Quade, 21 points tonight. You had said coming into the season you're looking to be one of the best shooting Kentucky guards. Is this the first step to doing that?
Yeah, you got to keep confident and keep shooting. If you miss, so what? You just got to keep shooting.
What was different for you tonight as you stepped on the court?
I played more aggressive, really. We all had to come out with the energy for us because we didn't come out with no energy at all. So I had to step in on the gas for one time for us.
ETSU gave you guys a run in that first half. What did Cal say to you at the half?
We wasn't playing tough enough. They was out rebounding us, getting 50-50 balls. We just had to out toughen them in the second half. That's what we did. We blew them out.
You're the vocal leader of this team. What do you tell your guys after a game like tonight?
We got to keep pushing. There's only one game. It's a long season. That's all.
Quade, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.